Hello, Steeler Nation. We are back with our third part of our interview with Brynt McFadden. Braynt from CBS Sports and the Pittsburgh Steelers. We love having you out here on the show, and thank you so much for being part of our Steeler Nation draft broadcast show.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. So I wanted to get into talking about when you left the Steelers in the 2009 season. You ended up going to the Arizona Cardinals, and to me, what is most interesting was a lot of the old coaches for the Steelers, Coach Wiz, Coach Grimm, were already over there in Arizona. So, as well as some players that have already been playing with the Steelers as well. So,
Yep.
what was it like transitioning and going playing out west in Arizona with all those familiar faces?
It was different because I was a part of a new organization. I was a part of a new fan base. But what made me comfortable was seeing some familiar faces that I saw my first few years in Pittsburgh. You mentioned some of the names, you know what I mean? Especially the head coach and Coach Wiz. So that made my transition a little smoother than normal. But it was different. You know, I was so accustomed to the Steeler way, the tradition that we have, and going elsewhere, you kind of see things from a different perspective. And it was a good experience, but it was very, very short-lived because I was only there 1 year. But I can tell you this much, it was great weather. You know what I mean? The springtime is ideal. Summertime is too hot, but you know, in the fall part, you really enjoy the elements of real good weather. But it was a good experience. Sometimes it's good to see things from a different set of lenses.
Excellent. And then Steelers loved you so much and hated having you away. They ended up trading you for you in the next draft and bringing you back in. And then lo and behold, you're the lucky rabbit's foot. You go back to the playoffs and go deep again and go to the Super Bowl. So what was it like the third time going to the Super Bowl, playing there in the Fort Worth, Dallas area?
Yo, I've been saying that for a long time. I felt like I was the rabbit foot.
Yeah.
Because my rookie year, we won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
My fourth year, we go back to the Super Bowl. I get traded. The Steelers didn't make the playoffs that year.
Right.
Then I come back. We make the playoffs. We go right back to the Super Bowl. I was like, what? Y'all should just keep me around and just have me on a roster just because I think I am the good luck charm. You know what I mean? But it was a good feeling. The bad part was we didn't win it. And I don't like even talking about that Super Bowl because remember, up until that time, anytime we made it to a championship game, I only experienced the winning side.
Yeah.
Never experienced the losing side. And that was the first time that I had to experience losing in a championship game. It still leaves a bitter taste in my mouth today. And not just about losing, that Super Bowl was crappy. It was an ice storm in Dallas. We couldn't really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Couldn't really do much.
Couldn't go out.
So it was a crappy Super Bowl when you talk about the weather conditions. And it definitely was crappy for us because we lost.
And I remember I drove up from Houston in the ice storm that I think the Friday before. And I think that's probably I'm a kid of the East Coast. I'm used to driving in ice and snow, and there's nothing like driving on ice when they don't have any salt to treat it. They throw sand on it. It does nothing. You're right. You couldn't go out till everything melted, and it wasn't melted till about halfway through Saturday. But by then you guys are already practicing, getting ready for the Super Bowl. You really didn't have a whole lot of time to go out and do anything fun, unfortunately, but thank you for at least sharing your Super Bowl moments, all of your moments with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And one last thing I want to ask from you, because you also are one of the rare Pittsburgh Steelers that have been able to say that I had both Bill Cowher and Mike Tomlin as my head coach. What was it like playing under those head coaches, and how did they differ?
It was a great experience. I learned so much from them. Just from their football mind. Some of the things he used to tell us as motivational pieces or just educating us, you know what I mean? I feel like I can go out and be a coach just based on my time being around those two individuals. One guy is in the hall, right?
Yep.
Mike Tomlin is safe to say will go into the hall.
Yep.
And I won championships with both coaches. You know what I mean? So play for two coaches that will end up, when it's all said and done, in the hall. And, winning championships for those said coaches was unbelievable. I think the difference would be not too much of a difference. They both were defensive-minded coach. I think that one difference is BC, Bill Cowher, loved special teams a little more than Mike Tomlin.
Okay.
Remember, Bill Cowher used to be a special teams warrior. You know what I mean? So that was a very, very important part for him. Not saying it wasn't important for Mike T, but Bill Cowher, when he talked about special teams, when he got geared up for special teams, it was important. It was a big deal for him. So I think that's probably the difference between those two coaches. But I respect those two guys so much. And like I said, they taught us so much. You know, I feel like my football career, just the people that I was around, I feel like I was in football heaven. In college, I got coached by the legendary Bobby Bowden, along with the legendary Mickey Andrews as my defensive coordinator. I go get drafted to Pittsburgh. I get coached by Bill Cowher. Then the freaking legendary DC and Dick LeBeau, right? Yeah. Hall of Fame, right? And then BC leaves, and then here comes Mike Tomlin. You know what I mean? The new heir apparent hot head coaching face of the National Football League, a guy who's yet to have a losing season in his head coaching experience. I mean, what better personalities would you want to be associated with as a player?
Wonderfully said. I mean, 2 Super Bowl champions, 2 Hall of Fame coaches you played for, another one with Bobby Bowden. I mean,
3. If you want, don't forget
Dick LeBeau. You cannot forget Dick LeBeau. You're right.
Yeah,
great correction. But Bryant McFadden, BMAC, thank you so much for being part of our draft show. Tell Steeler Nation how we can follow you and how we can keep up with you during your awesome broadcast career here with CBS Sports.
Yeah, follow me, BMAC_Sports Talk, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Clubhouse. You can follow me and watch me on CBS Sports HQ, highlighting everything draft-related, getting ready for the upcoming season to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, fantasy-related content, gambling-related content. Also, check me out on my podcast that I'm the co-host of with my cousin Patrick Peterson, called All Things Covered. If you like listening to podcasts, give us a shout. Let us get your ears. If you like watching podcasts, let us borrow your eyes for a few. You won't be disappointed. Some of the former Steelers that we've had on, Juju Smith-Schuster, Mike Tomlin, Mel Blount, and Jerome Bettis, to name the Steeler guys. But we've had a plethora of other influential sports personalities as well, and players. So give us a shout. Like I said, you won't be disappointed.
Well, I'll be checking it out. Steeler Nation, you check it out as well. Bryant, thank you so much for being part of our conversation. We loved having you for the Steeler Nation draft show. And anytime you want to come back and contribute, we're happy to have you, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.